everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeema and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am so excited for today's video because it is forbidden romances, and we all love forbidden romances. There's just something about it. This is probably about my third time doing a forbidden romances video, and each time you guys want more. 9 times out of 10, if a book has a forbidden aspect, a forbidden element in there, I will most likely eat it up. Most likely. But this video is even a little bit better than a forbidden romance because it is 2 forbidden romances. This video is in collaboration with Tamika from Tamika's Library. Definitely go check my description box down below and check out her channel and her video. I'm super excited to see it. So you get double the recs today. Double. Yeah, I'm super excited to sit down and talk to you guys about them today. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys read any of the books, if they're on your TBR, what you thought of them, all of that. Let me know in the comments down below. And also go ahead and check out Tamika's video. I'm super excited to watch her, and I know you guys will love that video just as much as me. So basically, as you guys know, I can never find a good filming position that's not at my house at home in Maryland. I'm in school, I'm on campus. I try to put a candle out in my flowers. It's not working, and I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing I can do about this. I just need to figure out a good way, you know? I swear that, well, I don't know. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into all the forbidden romances. So we are gonna start off strong today and talk about one of my most favorite forbidden romances that I think I've ever read, or at least have ever read in a very long time. Like, I love this book. It is become one of my absolute favorite books. Drum roll please. Sinner by Sierra Simone. This book is so amazing. I actually do have a reading vlog up of me reading this book with all of my reactions. I don't believe it's spoilers, so I'll also have that link down below. But I love this book. So it's number 2 in Sierra Simone's series. I forgot what the series is called, but the first one is Priest, the second one is Sinner, and the third one is Saint. I actually did not read Priest before I read Sinner. I still have yet to read Priest, and I was completely fine. You don't have to read the first book or the little novella before you read Sinner. I love this book. So this book follows Hero, and he has kind of lived life selfishly for the longest time. He really only cares about getting his money up in work and just, you know, having fun with girls. He's a little bit of a player. It is the very beginning of the book where our hero is at a party and he sees the most beautiful girl that he's ever seen before in his life. He's like, I need to know who that is immediately. So they start talking, whatever. He gets pulled away. He has to dip, he has to run, and he's not really expecting to see her again. He did get her name though. Her name is Zenny. Little does he know that Zenny is his best friend's sister. She's about to become a nun, and she is way younger than him. So it's forbidden in 3 ways. Those 3 ways that I just named. She's about to ruin his life. She is about to ruin his life because when I tell you this man gets obsessed with her, so obsessed with her, he can't even think straight. I just love this book. It has some of the best smut that I've ever read in my entire life. Like, it was delicious. It was so good. They're basically forbidden because obviously she's about to become a nun. These 2 reunite after some trouble with Sean's job and building where all the nuns live, the church possibly, what is it called? A nun sanctuary? I don't know what the term is. Basically, there's some conflicts there, and Sean and Zenny have to come together and work things out. And from there, he finds out that Zenny is his best friend's brother, which he has met her before, but he has not seen her in years since she's grown up and become a woman and all of that. Before she enters her nunhood, her advisors are kind of asking her, like, do you think you'll make a good nun? Do you think? And she's like, oh yeah, this will be easy. But they were kind of like, well, yeah, you say that now because you haven't really experienced all that life has to offer, mostly sex. She's a virgin, and she wants to kind of like explore all of her sexuality before she commits to being a nun. And she wants Sean to teach her. She wants Sean to show her the ropes in the way. He does, very, very hesitantly. He is like, this is a bad idea. You're my best friend's little sister. Like, this is not gonna be good. When I tell you this book was so amazing, why did I cry during this? Like, I literally cried during this book. There are so many hard-hitting emotional scenes, so many amazing, beautiful quotes that I want like tattooed on my body. It is just a phenomenal book, and I honestly could not recommend a better book for forbidden romances, because this one was just excellent. Like, it's forbidden in 3 counts. 3 counts, triple homicide forbidden, and it was amazing. So I highly recommend. I think that you guys would love it if you like the same books as me, if you have the same taste. It was simply beautiful, and I definitely would recommend, if you have this option, to listen to it on audio. I believe it's on Hoopla or Scribd. I listened to it on one of those two. But everybody told me before going into it to get the audiobook somehow, and I did, and it was beautiful, it was delightful, and I highly recommend. Also, I'm filming at night, if you could not tell, and at night is when like the demons come out. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just back and forth racing, people doing wheelies on my street, like relaxed, it's crazy. So if you hear that, I'll try to stop talking, but if you hear it kind of sneak up in the background, I'm very sorry. The next book that I'm going to recommend is First Semester by QB Tyler, and I am recommending this because it is a very short and sweet and steamy novella with kind of like a classic forbidden romance trope, which is teacher or professor student relationship, which honestly I used to love it so much, and then I kind of got like icked out by it, like the whole teacher student dynamic, but now I'm kind of back into it again. Like, I am not minding it, so I'm gonna recommend this one. It is very short and very steam filled, and just honestly a really fun time. We have our heroine, and she is starting out in college after a year abroad. She ends up getting a boyfriend while she is abroad, or maybe a summer abroad, one of either a year or a summer. She ends up getting a boyfriend, and right before college he dumps her, or they break up, or something like that happens. Basically, they're not together any longer. Her newfound friend and the girl who lives across the hall from her is like, hey, come out with us, you need to get on this dating app, just really like welcoming her and bringing her into her circle. Our heroine ends up opening up to this girl, and she's like, hey, like, I just got broken up with. She's like, oh no, you need to go have rebound sex like immediately. And so she does, and she goes on the apps and she meets this guy, and that night she has amazing, mind-blowing sex with this guy. It was all fun and dandy. They go about their separate ways until about 9 o'clock in the morning the next day, when he is walking into class and she finds out that this is her new professor. And of course, they stop right there, and that was the end of the book. No, of course not. Of course, they continue to sneak around, do things that really tested my anxiety, because I was like, they're about to get caught right now. They're about to get caught, and what am I supposed to do? Like, sit here like and watch? But it was a really fun time. It's very short, and I honestly just love novellas for palate cleansers, and I'm starting to get into them even more, which I've only read 1 book so far in September, and it was Just a Cane. It was pretty good, but yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It has the classic forbidden romance tropes, and it was honestly just a very fun, hot time. The next book that I'm going to read is another really good book that it's probably going to be a favorite this year of mine, because I just loved it so much. And did I read it this year or last year? I can't really remember. I think I read it this year, but that is Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Jessinger. And y'all, this book was so amazing. Not only is it a forbidden romance, but it's also a mafia romance, and this is honestly probably one of the most different mafia books that I've ever read in my entire life. Like, it just felt so different than the cliche typical mafia book, but it was amazing. Like, it was everything that I love. So it basically follows our heroine. 5 years ago, her fiance disappeared on her wedding day. She's never been able to fully get over this, because she has no idea if he was killed. She has no idea if he ran away. Like, she has no idea what happened to her fiance on the day of their wedding. She has dated other people since then, but it just has never felt right. The chemistry was never there. She was always just kind of still had her mind on her fiance who disappeared. That is until somebody moves in right next door to her, and that is Cage. A man of many mysteries. He appears on what would have been her 5th anniversary, and she feels a connection with him. She feels a spark with him. She feels butterflies and happiness and light, and she just has not connected with anyone as well as she's connecting to him. But it is also forbidden. But she doesn't know why it's forbidden until she finds out why it's forbidden, and she doesn't know what to do. But basically, Cage is keeping some secrets. Does it have to do with her fiance who just disappeared randomly? Is he in the mafia? Was he sent to her town to make sure that she is not looking for her husband and maybe even killing her, but ending up falling in love with her, and now he has to keep it a secret from his boss, because if the boss finds out that she's still alive, what's gonna happen? So there's a lot of distance, which honestly, I think I mentioned this before, but I just really appreciate it in romance books where they kind of like, couples get separated from periods of time, they're traveling a lot, because you kind of go through like I feel like it just adds a very realistic factor to romance books. You see like the longing and the missing, and then when they come and surprises, it's like, oh my gosh, you're here, and like, I don't know, I just really enjoy that. So there's a lot of this in this book, but like, it is amazing. I truly have never read a mafia romance like this, and I am so excited to read the second book. The second book has been checked out from KU for the longest time, and I still have not read it for some reason. Like, I have no idea why, but I need to. Everybody says the second book is way better than the first one, and let me tell you, the first one was amazing, which means that the second book must be like triple that. Like, I am just so excited. I love this book. It is forbidden in so many aspects, and it is such a great romance. The next book that I'm going to recommend is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy, and I read this for my book club Between the Covers. We are currently taking a little bit of a break just while the three of us get situated. If you didn't know, I run a book club with my friends Em from Em Reads Romance and Reagan from Ray Reads. They're both on Instagram, but right now they're taking a break off on YouTube. So yeah, I read this with them for my book club, and I loved it so much. The vibes in here were just right. Like, every New York Pinterest girly red lipstick, which I'm currently wearing, lipstick print aesthetic, like, it's just such a vibe. Like, I feel like Monica Murphy really knows how to cater to her audience. On top of that, it takes place at a boarding school. It's hate to love. The guy is so obsessed with her, but he doesn't know why he's obsessed with her, and it is amazing. So we have our heroine, Ren, and when Ren first came to this school, she was so popular. She was a trendsetter. She wore Mary Janes, then the next day everybody was wearing Mary Janes. She wore a little bow in her hair, and everybody was wearing a bow in her hair. It was just, she was that girl. She was the it girl. And on top of that, she is a virgin, which is not a big deal, but she wears a purity ring around her finger, obviously, and her father gave it to her at a purity ball, and it's kind of like a known thing at the school that she is a virgin. She's promising herself to, I don't even know what, God? No. Her husband, her father, and they kept saying that she's promised to her father. Like, isn't that weird? But yes, so when she got a purity ring, all of the other girlies got purity rings, and they're like, ah, I'm so pure, and you know, that type of vibe. Then we have Crew, who is the son of the owner. He basically owns the school. His last name is Lancaster, and they go to Lancaster Prep, so his name is quite literally on the building. He's kind of like a bad boy, but he just runs shit there as well. These two have never been friends. Ren has always thought that Crew has hated her just based on the dirty looks he gives her, but actually Crew is obsessed with Ren, like so obsessed with her, and he's obsessed also with taking something of hers, and that is her virginity. So when these two get paired up in a class, they get closer and they have to meet up and, you know, obviously work on the homework. Romance ensues between them. This is very forbidden because she is not allowed to have a boyfriend. She's obviously not allowed to have sex, and she especially should be staying away from Crew Lancaster. That's basically the premise of this book. It honestly, just the vibes in here and the aesthetics alone were amazing. I thought the smut in here was beautiful. There are key moments that stick out to me, which is how you know the smut is good. If I can like pull out a scene, oh yeah, that scene, then you know it's amazing. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was such a fun, hot time, and it's forbidden. It is kind of like high school-y, obviously, because it takes place at like a boarding school, but all in all, I just loved it so much, and I would highly recommend it. And the last book that I'm going to recommend today is The Billionaire by Marnie Mann. You don't really find out why this couple is forbidden until a good way through the book. The heroine is keeping a secret from the hero, and I didn't really pick up on it all too much. It wasn't very clear that she was keeping a secret from him, but sometimes she would say something and you would kind of be like, oh, that was weird, and then you keep going past it. These two meet one night. They're both in Vegas, and they end up having a one-night stand. After this one night stand, they cannot get off of each other's minds. There's a little bit of a problem. He lives in LA and she lives in Florida while she's finishing up her degree. She's already a billionaire and she's still in college, about to graduate. So there's those like opposite aspects as well. Naturally, because they cannot keep each other off of their minds, they kind of do like a long distance relationship, which goes back to what I was saying earlier, when I just love when they can't be together 24/7. Like, it's that vibe. But he'll also just make the trek. He has a private jet. He'll make the trek to Florida and come and see her. Sometimes she'll go to LA and come and see him, but it's forbidden. And I'm not going to tell you why it's forbidden, because it honestly shocked me why it was forbidden. This one isn't very blatant. Like I was saying earlier, it's not very blatant, but it is a forbidden romance. It is a very hot romance as well, like so hot. And it's honestly just such a fun vibe. If you kind of want to read about like a long distance couple and a very rich man who is going to the ends of earth to get this girl, then definitely pick up The Billionaire. They just are not supposed to be together. Having to, you know, I'll give you a hint. Having to do with his job and who he works with. Keep that in mind. So that was the last book that I'm going to recommend for forbidden romances. Do not forget to check out Tamika's video. I will have it linked down below along with her channel. Go and just rack up on the forbidden romances today. It's gonna be great, and your TBR is gonna be stocked, if it isn't already, for a very long time. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below, and also subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you very shortly with a new video. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you and me.